99% of golfers have 30 yards sitting in their golf game. And I'm going to show you in this video how you can get that process started and how you can start tacking on yardage. Super simple, 3 steps. I'm going to get right into it and show you how I would build that. We're going to talk about really how to put yourself in positions where you can generate more speed, show you how to do that, and then really how to really add the fuel at the end there so you can start swinging faster and do it without really hurting yourself too. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt. I've been playing golf for over 20 years. I train as a golfer. I work as a club fitter as well. So I've been involved in the game for quite some time. And I really just wanted to share with you how I picked up really 50 yards in a period of 6 months. And that has transformed my game. It helped me hit way more wedges into greens. I'm hitting the driver incredibly accurate. I'm pain-free, and I've been hitting the ball farther really than I ever have. One is going to cover the mobility needed to put your body in different positions. Number 2 will be the strength component. And then number 3 will be where we add the speed as fast as possible. And I'm going to highlight that for you in such a way where you can implement it immediately. So without further ado, I'm going to get into how it is we do this here at home. I have very simple equipment sitting up here over there. I have a wooden floor here, so I want to show you how simple this can all be. And like I said, there's 30 yards sitting there for everybody. So comment down below what your questions are. Maybe we can answer some things specific to you, but this is how I would build the speed. Step 1, 2, 3. So first things first, I think that from doing this, there's nothing that's going to beat doing this for a long period of time. And nothing's going to beat you being able to go consistently and do all these pieces. Now, I'm going to start with the first piece. I'm going to move this down a little bit so that you can see my yoga mat and really how I do this at home. This is in my house. So I think the first thing first that comes to mind for me is mobility. And I would say hip mobility, right? To be able to get into these spots right here, right? Where you can go knee over the toe and just as deep as possible. And then also to be able to kind of hold it out here as well. I use a yoga mat, use something soft, use a pillow, use a blanket to start with. And just be able to get into a place where you can move your hips like this, right? Being able to move them up and around. Feel free to use the wall. I'm going to do a very simple demonstration of this because I don't want you to think that it's going to be difficult to get to your result. I want to go as decisively as possible in how I would do this. So hip mobility for most of us guys out there is number 1. Most of us can't get into this position, right? Getting it on the ground and being able to be in this position where you can hold your weight left and right, maybe go down here, down there, right? And just slowly stretching into these positions at whatever level that you are on there. So first things first is the hip mobility. Getting deeper into that, being able to, if I do it directly at you, be able to move your weight out, move your weight in, and just be able to push off of that. You want to be able to get into those positions first. And from there, then you can start generating upper body, which would be the rotational element of that. So you have mobility there. And then I'm going to grab a golf shaft. I want to show you how this stuff relates. You want to have rotational mobility as well, where you can keep your feet, your knees, hips, shoulders all pointed that way, and then turn your shoulders and be able to get as deep as you can into that stretch there, right? You can go there. That's one way to do it with a golf shaft. You can also go like this, where you push against the ground and rotate up like that. More tension in the hand, more tension in the foot, kind of go back and forth, right? Just want to rotate that as much as possible. That gives you as much width as you need. You can see it from there on the golf swing. The farther away the club is from you, the more speed that you can generate. So being able to rotate easily without losing your base. Most of us guys out there are doing this, right? What I want to see people do, right, if you can see from this angle, they come around like that. I want to see people that can get into a spot where they can rotate and get speed moving this way
not necessarily speed here. So in order to do that, you need to be grounded here, and you need to be mobile enough so that you can do that stuff. So just being able to do that and stretch in that direction, right? You see people with medicine balls just moving around and getting that part, and just being able to move here, right? Rotational strength. I think hip flexibility is a huge part. And I'm going to show you really the third piece that I use. So the third piece is as simple as this little Bosu ball that I've got right here. Right, I got a ball obviously on one side and then flat on another. And just generally working my knee, my ankle, and my hip so that I can stay aligned with all this stuff, right? I think just balancing here in general, being able to lean forward, lean back, if I want to lean to the side a little bit, right? This is the much advanced version that I'm doing here of just being able to hold weight in different areas. You can start with this. I have these little things, are a couple dollars on Amazon. Feel free to get as fancy as you want. Use a tennis ball. Feel free to utilize a wall around you as well. You just want to be able to move in here and then be able to move your feet around from there so that you can move into these positions and you have that ankle mobility. That's the number one thing, in my opinion, that's going to keep you from getting injured. If you see injuries out there, if I see them as a golfer, I know that there's an imbalance between ankle and hip so that the knee starts hurting, right? That's usually what happens. Or maybe the forearm, you have tennis elbow out here, golfer's elbow in there. You know, I'll show you one little piece that I use for that golfer's elbow as well. I just legitimately take a 5-pound weight and I move it around like this. And then what you're going to see, if I can move this a little bit closer to you guys, you go right here, right? I used to be all out here with my whole upper body and my back. I've since learned to get it so that this is aligned. I have a straight back that I can pull from. And if I go like this, my whole pec starts to activate, my back starts to activate, and I can start to feel this whole thing moving in one, right? I can go here. I usually use a 10-pound weight if I'm doing this one, but I can move it around and just feel where that tension is so that I can really, you see those people wearing those armbands. If you have this pain, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've had this for a long time. This solved that for me. And that was just something super simple. You know, take care of yourself and you'll be able to add speed in all of these. That is the mobility component of what it is that we're doing. Check out the next video right up here. We are going to go into the strength component of what we're doing and how you can start to add speed, but we want to put you in a position where you can do it pain-free, which is the mobility portion of this. You want range of motion in all of these, and I'm happy to go into details. Comment with your questions down below. How can I help your swing? Let's get involved. Get the distance out there that you know that you can get. And without further ado, I'm going to get into that second video right now.